Hi, I just wanted to talk a little bit about forms in general as a supervisor. I've already created a video specifically for feedback, but I just want to talk in generally about forms. Okay, so from the home page of Sonia, I've gone to forms. And you will see that this particular space at the top here is where you can add feedback forms, or you can add timesheet or travel claim forms, and I have videos on completing both of those. So these particular forms up here are forms for supervisors to fill in, and students will be able to see them. Okay, I'm just going to look down at the list of forms below here, so you'll see that if I scroll down this there's lots of forms. Notice the category can be supervisor form, that's a feedback form, ready to go for Alicia Thomas at Bertram Primary in Term 2. The rest of the forms here are evaluation forms. The evaluation forms are the interim reports to be filled in by the teachers, and they have 3 signatures on them. So at the moment there's 0 of 3 signatures. The 3 signatures are the electronic signature of the mentor teacher, the university supervisor, yourself, and the pre-service teacher. So I'm just going to click on one of those evaluation forms so you can see. Okay, so this is the interim report. Notice that the interim report comments you cannot write in these at all, because these are for the mentor teacher to write in. Okay, so you have a read-only version of this. All you're able to do is to sign and accept it. In the same way that the student gets a read-only version of it, they can sign and accept it. It's only the mentor teacher that gets an editable version. Okay, now notice there's a couple of things to help you. By default, you'll find that hide completed placement groups is ticked, and hide completed mine are ticked. Now if I untick those, we will go back and we will see evaluation forms from last year. So here we have a final internship evaluation form for a student. Now notice that's only got 3 ticks on it, so I'll just open it up and have a look. Okay, so we've got a report here. Okay, the student probably hasn't signed it, but the supervisor has, so it's nothing to be concerned about. Notice I'm going to scroll through. Okay, so these are all going back to 2017 reports, and you can see some of them have not been filled in at all. When they've got 0 of 1, that means it's probably one that I haven't filled in as a supervisor. If it's 1 of 1, that means that you've completed your part. 2 of 3 means that those 2 being 1 yourself, 2 the mentor teacher, it's probably the student that hasn't signed off on that one. This particular one here for Luke Angers, 1 of 1 means you've done your part. 3 of 3 means everyone's done their part. Okay, you're probably only bothered about what you have to do, so if you click hide the ones that you've done yourself, it will just bring up ones that you might need to look at. So if I go back historically, I mean technically some of these should have been filled in. I might just click on this one for Brittany Fuller. This is 1 of 3, so Brittany's report has been filled in by a mentor teacher, and the supervisor should either tick the box indicating they do not agree and contact me to organise for their own editable version, or sign and accept. So it is useful if you go back and have a look and see if you've got any historic forms that you haven't completed, that you might want to actually go over and make sure that in the column that says mine for historic blocks that you have actually completed them. Okay, so that's where all your forms are. Remember, evaluation forms are generally read-only. Supervisor forms are like timesheets, and feedback forms, which you self-select from here. Yeah. Okay, thanks for listening.